Hello, viewers.
Space Force!
Don't yell. You're gonna cap it out. And you interrupted me just like I knew that you would.
I'm sorry. I promised I wouldn't, but I did.
Okay, we are playing Space Force, otherwise known as No Man's Sky, and we're playing the No Man's Sky next. Now, to be clear, this is not the very beginning of the game. I've already played for approximately about an hour and a half. I'm actually on my second planet.
Did you play the original?
When it first came, well, I mean, it's still the original. Did I
No.
play it when it first came out?
Yeah.
No.
I
No.
did. It was super. I had aspirations of exploring the galaxy. It was super disappointing.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably the case. I've played it for about an hour and a half now, and I feel kind of the same. That you know what it feels like? It feels like Minecraft in space. And
Yeah.
I like Minecraft, but
But you can't build anything.
no, actually you can.
You can now,
So
or
you
could
can
before?
now. So see, I'm building a shelter. That's actually what my mission is right now. I'm supposed to build a shelter.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So, oh crap. So I'm gonna pick this up. Not movable.
I'm gonna try to be incredibly generous to this game.
I don't like this not movable nonsense. What is going on here? Okay. So anyway, so there's a lot of stuff that happened in the update. I need pure ferrite.
What is all the new stuff you can do?
So apparently there's some multiplayer stuff. So you can come across other people. Building is a thing. Apparently there's more story elements to it now. Atlas Pass V1. I don't know what that means.
His outfit is making me think of the Death Stranding trailer. Have you seen that yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one where the walking simulator?
Yeah.
I love Hideo Kojima. We talked about this. I love Hideo Kojima. And I'm a huge fan of Metal Gear.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like this game is not going to grab me.
It could be his version of the prequels because no one can stop him.
I know, right? There's no Konami to reel him in. Okay, here's the thing. I need to build some woody stuff. See, I have some woody stuff here.
Ooh.
Okay,
Fascinating.
so see basic components.
Mm-hmm.
And then I come up here, wooden components. And then I need to make a wooden roof. But see, I need carbon and ferrite dust.
Mm.
So see, this is where it's really starting to feel like Minecraft.
So we need iron.
Yeah. Whoops. The controls on the PC are kind of wonky too. There's so much going on. It's wait, what am I supposed to push? When am I supposed to push it?
Are those Florida colors, blue and orange?
Yeah, kind of. Wait, okay, so I need carbon. So anyway, so No Man's Sky next. I decided to give it a go. I never played it when it was new. But it's getting a lot of hype. And in fact, here is a tweet from Sean Murray about the hype that it's getting. You see, PC Gamer tweeted out an article that 2 years after its launch, there's hype for No Man's Sky again. And then Sean Murray just quotes it and says, "Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no." Right? Because the hype in the first one did not work out well for him because when it came out and it didn't live up to the hype, people accused him of false advertising.
Yeah, which it was.
Well, okay.
Did you think it was false advertising originally?
Well, so I was one of those people. The reason I didn't play it when it first came out was that I kept watching it and I was like, I don't know what this game is. So I didn't really expect anything out of it because I was like, I never really saw you show me anything.
Yeah. But he did directly say that there would be you could potentially run into someone else,
Yes, that's true.
which was nonsense.
Yes, which apparently you can now. I mean, I haven't yet, but I've only been playing for an hour and a
It's
half.
a big galaxy.
It's a big, big galaxy, big universe. You actually go multiple galaxies.
I remember you go to the
Oh.
end and then it shoots you out.
So now I got to recharge. I recharge my mining beam. Okay, now I can do this. Now I can capture carbon. Okay. Yeah. So I didn't really play it. So that's going to take too much. I don't need salt. I didn't really play it much when it was new.
I definitely don't think you need salt.
No, I don't need salt. I need Salt Bay. That's what I need. I need Salt Bay in my life.
I don't know what that means. Is that slang?
You don't know Salt Bay?
Was that slang?
No, Salt Bay was this dude. He's like a chef, but there was like a Vine that got popular of him doing like this motion where he was like taking the salt and he was going like this, and the salt was like running down his arm.
Show it one more time for the viewers.
Yeah, which you can't see, but he was going like this, like that,
Like
that,
he's sprinkling salt.
No, like that bodybuilder pose that they do. But then he was sprinkling salt and it was running down his arm onto the steak.
Ooh, erotic.
Yeah. And he has like long hair and he was wearing like aviators. So he got coined Salt Bay. There's a whole thing. How have you not seen Salt Bay?
I have not seen it. I haven't heard of it.
Yeah. Okay. Well. So viewers, if you're watching and you see that this game stops occasionally, that's because I'm playing, and I'm also trying to control the recording, and apparently do Salt Bay recreations. So that makes it a little bit difficult. Oh. So now my inventory's full. See? Fuck. This is just like Minecraft, where my inventory would always get full. And now, see, they have these sentries that follow you around.
But they had sentries before.
I know, but I feel like they're super aggressive. They're all up in my grill all the time. Oh, that hurt. That's not what I wanted. So I feel like, okay, I need to get rid of something in my inventory. What can I get rid of?
Life support.
See, I need to transfer. Oh, wait. Yeah, let's do that. Starship out of range. See?
I claim that when we have spaceships, we won't have microprocessors anymore.
Well, I think...
They'll have to be nanoprocessors or
well, okay, even now, processors are on nanometer production.
Know, it's just being silly.
They're on like 14 nanometers, the latest.
Ooh.
How do I get out of here? Oh no, I have fallen down the pits of hell. How the heck do I get out of here?
It does seem to go on.
Oh god. Oh, see now. Oh no. And I'm hurting. See, no, it's taken a lot out of me.
Are you excited for Patrick Stewart to return to Star Trek?
I am excited. Okay, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about Patrick Stewart returning to Star Trek. So, have you seen all the news about it? Have you seen what they've said about it?
I've heard that he's coming back, and I know he issued a statement. I read it. I don't remember what it says.
So here's the statement that he released. What day was this? August 4th. This was during Star Trek Las Vegas. You know what Star Trek Las Vegas is.
I have no idea what Star Trek Las Vegas is.
Oh, you don't know what Star Trek? Okay.
Star Trek Las Vegas.
So in Las Vegas, there's like an expo of, well, it's all about Star Trek. And so they typically have like sets and stuff that you can visit. They have lots of interviews with like previous cast members, current cast members, obviously now since Discovery's on, and they have panels. So it's kind of like a Star Trek convention, but more like it's actually done by CBS. So it's like a big thing, and it's like more official.
Gotcha.
Kind of.
I get you.
Yeah. So anyway, so Star Trek Las Vegas. This is where this was announced, and so he tweeted out, "I will always be very proud to have been a part of Star Trek: The Next Generation. But when we wrapped that final movie in the spring of 2002, Star Trek Nemesis, boo, I truly felt my time with Star Trek had run its natural course."
Yay.
Tom Hardy, good. Not as young Patrick Stewart. It is therefore an unexpected but delightful surprise to find myself excited and invigorated to be returning to Jean-Luc Picard and to explore new dimensions with him. Seeking out new life for him when I thought that life was over.
So, I would love for you to find another example of an Englishman excited to portray a Frenchman.
To portray a Frenchman. He was, I mean, I don't know, he might be the only one.
So how do you feel about it? He seems down.
Okay, so he said this is actually the second statement is actually what I find most interesting.
Yeah.
He says, during this past years, it has been humbling to hear stories about how the next generation brought people comfort, saw them through difficult periods in their lives, or how the example of Jean-Luc inspired so many to follow in his footsteps, pursuing science, exploration, and leadership. I feel I'm ready to return to him for the same reason, to research and experience what comforting and reforming light he might shine on these very often very dark times. I look forward to working with our brilliant creative team as we endeavor to bring a fresh, unexpected, and pertinent story to life once more. But okay. More importantly, dang it, screw you. Did you hear? Did you hear him talk about what he's going to be doing?
I guess I heard he was going to take it in a different direction. Is that the case?
Yeah. So he said it is going to be different. But it is set. Crap! I can't do anything. It is set 20 years after Star Trek Nemesis.
Yep.
He's not a captain anymore, apparently.
So he's not in Starfleet, or he's not a captain?
Well, so that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't really been explained yet.
Mm.
Because there's a possibility that like he's an admiral now, right?
Kirk explicitly told him not to do that, though.
I know, right? But I mean, what, dude, Kirk? Who are you gonna listen to? Besides, you got to also understand that by this point,
Spock's gone.
well, Spock's gone. Yeah, so that's the other thing. So 20
Oh,
years.
yeah, Romulus should be destroyed, right?
Romulus is gone.
Oh,
so 20
yeah.
years after Nemesis
I hadn't
is
thought of that.
is like 10 years or so
Ooh.
after.
Do you think they'll build a wall around
after the
Romulus
Kelvin.
to keep refugees out?
Romulus doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, I guess the Romulus sector. Oh, there's no Romulus sector anymore. The whole star blew up. Good point.
Well,
was-
actually, that's a good point. I don't know if they ever actually did they.
No, the star. It was the star went.
Was it
no,
the star?
The star blew up. That was the whole thing. The red matter was supposed to like quell
Stabilize the star.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it destroyed Romulus, Remus, everything.
all of it.
Oh man, I kind of forgot that. I thought it was just Romulus.
I had it on VHS.
What?
Nemesis.
Well, that didn't happen in Nemesis. That happened.
Oh,
that happened in
wow.
2009.
2000, yeah. Woo. Good point. I got those confused because they both involve Romulus. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. In Nemesis, they attacked them with that thing that turned them to stone, so that the Remans could take over.
Petrification in Star Trek. I liked it.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I do not remember how to turn on my flashlight.
I feel that way about my phone. I always have to say, "Okay, Google, turn on flashlight," because I can't find it. It's not like in the.
Please don't do that because
Oh my God! It
you
just turned on, his,
my
like,
speaker.
your house AI. It heard
So
me.
don't say the OK G word
Oh man.
because
You can
like
hear us.
14 things will go off in my house. It's actually very annoying. It's really annoying too when you're into tech like I am, and so you watch a lot of tech channels, and they're like, "Oh, we're reviewing the new Android phone or Google speaker or whatever," and like they say it like 14 times in the video, and your speakers and phones in my house are just going off everywhere.
Can you call 911 from like Alexa and stuff?
I don't know.
I was just thinking about people
I
who
think so,
have the
maybe.
life
I am
alert.
so stuck
You know, the
right
life alert little things people wear when they get old, so that they can't.
Yeah.
won't-
Oh wait, here we go.
They won't get stuck on the ground.
Yes.
I was just thinking you could use Alexa for that.
Oh, there we go. Flashlight. Yeah. There might be a way to use. Oh, crap. Now I gotta. This is getting really annoying. I gotta be honest. I'm recharging shit everywhere. Not liking this. Okay. So anyway, Star Trek. So, here we go. I'm gonna dig my way out.
So no more Romulus. He's not a captain.
No more Romulus. He's not a captain.
I feel like you're getting sick.
Yeah, I'm really screwed right now. I can't-
215% toxins.
I can't get out.
Yep. We're gonna die here.
I can't get out.
This is the end.
How in the world do I get out of here? I'm so confused.
Look what your greed has wrought.
It wasn't greed. Oh no. What? No. No. I died.
In such second. Huh.
I died. Jump cut. Okay. So 20 years after. Oh, so here's the real question. Are we going to see the Enterprise E in the show, do you think?
20 years. What was didn't take them long to move from the D to the E. Didn't take them 20 years.
Well, the D
So,
blew up.
The D crashed. Yeah, and blew up.
Riker, always blowing stuff up.
Ooh, will Riker be back?
So he's going to be captain of the Titan, right? That's where he was going in Nemesis. And there's a whole lot of lore around. Like, there's actually a Titan model out there based on books that were written.
What was he the captain of before? Or sorry, what ship was he on before the Enterprise?
The Pegasus.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I knew they were both Greek names, and I got them confused. Yeah.
Yeah, the Pegasus, which was basically an Oberth class
Oh,
from Star Trek 3.
take your word for it.
Also, about the Oberth class, interesting thing. Nobody knows how big it is because none of the sizes make sense. None of the official sizes or even postulated sizes make sense. So, anyway. But yeah, but here's an even bigger question. Okay, let's say there's no Enterprise E. You know, in canon, there's already an Enterprise F.
I did not know that. I know there was an Enterprise J.
Well, there's an Enterprise J. That was an Enterprise. No, but because of Star Trek Online.
Oh.
So Star Trek Online, theoretically, because it's blessed by CBS, is in canon.
And is a game you can play?
It is a game.
I've never heard of it. Star Trek Online.
Star Trek Online. You never heard?
I've never heard of it.
We should have been playing Star Trek Online.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, anyway, it's in canon, and they held a contest a couple of years ago for somebody to design an Enterprise F. And they picked somebody. They picked someone's design. And so, therefore, there is an Enterprise F.
Can we see a picture?
Yes, we can. Hold. Okay, so
What
this
a beast.
is the Enterprise F. Fan designed.
Uh-huh.
And technically speaking, this is sort of in canon. Oh, that's just a British flag. I don't know why that's there.
No, it's a British ship. It'll be the HMS Enterprise.
Right. So Memory Beta, which is like considers it non-canon. This is on Memory Beta.
I've read Memory Beta. I know.
Because Memory Alpha is supposed to be
Yeah,
in canon, and Memory Beta is like, maybe canon. So like the books and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But theoretically, Star Trek Online is supposed to be canon because it's blessed by CBS. So that Enterprise F is canon. Do you think we'll see it?
Oh, how could I know? It looks really cool. I'd be down.
I don't like the way it looks inside. You have to play the game to see it inside.
Oh, is it gross?
It's too big. The bridge is like 2 stories.
Is it 70s with cool carpet like TNG and the original, or is it more?
No, it's like Enterprise E style. Because it's supposed to be not long after Enterprise E.
No, Enterprise E still had like carpet, and it still was kind of homey. I'm talking like, is it JJ Abrams?
Oh,
like,
no, it's not JJ Discovery.
It's not like
style.
a porn set.
No.
Was
the JJ verse like porn set?
I thought the Enterprise Abrams verse thing was like, I thought it looked very much like a porn set.
Thought it looked very much like a porn set.
Or like a really trashy dress store. Like
now
Forever
it's
21.
I've never been in a Forever 21.
It's garish.
Is it?
They always have really like white floors. They're dirty, and like the brights are really like intense.
Do you buy clothes there?
No, but I do role play Star Trek there.
Oh,
I go to Forever 21, and I just give orders to people.
I died and I lost all my inventory.
Gasp.
No. Well, at least I didn't lose any of my equipment. Oh, that sucks.
Starship's adorable.
Yeah,
Go to space?
It's just I want to build a roof.
Final Frontier?
I need ferrite dust. Maybe
there's some in space.
Let me know if you see. Oh, look at this little guy. Hello.
You have any ferrite dust, fella?
Feed. I could feed him.
Mm.
Am I? Oh, look, he's happy.
Yeah. Woo. Can you get pets?
I don't know. He's awfully spiky. View discovery. Oh, I can rename him.
Oh,
wait, I think.
I'll rename Jeremy.
Discoveries.
Name him Jeremy.
So I renamed this planet Pretentious Planet Alpha.
Oh, I noticed. Yeah. Appreciate that.
Okay, here we go. Articid, whatever. We're going to call him Jeremy.
Hi, Jeremy.
But that's his species.
Ooh.
So his species is Jeremy.
Oh, it's a Jeremy.
It's a Jeremy.
Gotcha.
It's a Jeremy species.
It's a common Jeremy.
Yeah. Well, aren't all Jeremys common?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So intermission.
Mm-hmm.
I have a video from Orrin Hatch that I want you to see. So
beforehand, who is Orrin Hatch?
Who is Orrin Hatch? Okay, Orrin Hatch is a senator from the great state of Utah. Mm-hmm. He has been senator for approximately 322 years, give or take a term. No, I think he's been since the 80s, a long time.
Yeah.
He's been senator for a long time. He's retiring. Mitt Romney is probably going to take his seat.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Mitt
I
Romney.
remember that now. Yes.
Mitt Romney won the nomination to take his seat. Now, notably, Orrin Hatch is the head of the Senate Judiciary Committee, who holds hearings on, for example, Supreme Court nominations.
Okay. Yes.
Right.
Yes. Which we have one, Kavanaugh.
We have one coming up. Mm-hmm. If you'll also turn your brain back to 2015, we also had one back then, or 2016.
Oh, we were supposed to.
Well, there was an opening.
There was a nomination. Did Obama nominate that guy? What was his name? Garland.
Yes.
That was Garland.
Merrick Garland.
That's right. Okay.
Yes.
He did nominate him.
He did nominate him.
Okay. Yeah, and it didn't, and they just didn't hold a hearing.
They did not hold any hearings on that, including in the Senate Judiciary Committee.
That's probably pretty fair.
Of which Orrin Hatch is leader.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
So this video was released this week as we get hearings, theoretically, about Brett Kavanaugh, who is Trump's pick.
I want to really compliment the Democrats who have stood up and are willing to stand up for Judge Kavanaugh, because they realize that we can't keep going down this partisan, picky, stupid, dumbass role that has happened around here for so long. I'm sick and tired of it, to be honest with you. I'm tired of the partisanship, and frankly, we didn't treat them, their candidates for these positions the way they're treating ours. And I would like to see us hopefully break through and change that attitude with regard to Judge Kavanaugh's confirmation. I want to...
So we did not treat Democrats' nominees
Yeah, I'd say.
the way.
So what's his goal here? What is he just?
Wait. You would say?
I would agree. I would agree that we didn't treat them.
Are you kidding me?
No, that's what he was saying. We Democrats, they didn't treat Garland nicely, but they're treating Kavanaugh better. That's what he was saying.
No. So Democrats are trying to block Kavanaugh, and he's blaming them for being partisan, saying we didn't treat your nominees that way. We didn't try to block your nominees.
I really want to compliment the Democrats.
No, I really want to compliment the Democrats who stood up, because only 2 Democrats have taken interviews with him. The rest of them were stonewalling.
I got you.
So he was thanking, in particular, it's Joe Manchin of West Virginia and Joe Donnelly of Indiana. Natch, because it's always those 2.
Mm-hmm.
So he's saying, hey, we never treated your guys that way. And it's like, you obstructed a Supreme Court nominee for literally an entire year.
Oh, how depressing.
And it's like, but he's like, no, I totally never did that. And it's like, what? We're living in bizarro world.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. Oh,
here, I got a question. I want to, was the, when we moved from 50 votes to 60 votes in the Senate to approve of a president's nomination for Supreme Court, was that the Democrats or the Republicans who changed that?
It was the other way around. So it used to require. Okay, so you know about. See, I always hit a button because I'm like, I don't know what button to push. I'm looking for sodium. There we go. So you saw the movie Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, which was all about filibuster.
Yes.
Right. So the filibuster exists, and you need 60 votes to break a filibuster.
Gotcha.
Right. So what they typically do, go back. What they typically do, see, and I need more sodium again, is you hold what they call a vote of cloture, which is like a vote of cloture says we'll suspend debate and take a vote after 2 hours, right? And so you only technically need 50 votes for a law to pass, or 51 votes in the Senate for the motion to pass. But you need a vote of cloture to suspend debate.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, somebody can get up and just filibuster. They could just talk forever, and then you can't take a vote on it,
Gotcha.
right? So they introduced this idea of cloture vote. And you need 60 votes to break cloture.
Gotcha.
So that you can take a vote. And now that you needed that for everything, right? You needed it for legislation. You needed it for anything the Senate does, anytime the Senate takes a vote, right? And a couple of years ago, in fact, this is even more to this point, Republicans were obstructing judicial nominees, not just Supreme Court, but judicial nominees up and down, like just regular courts.
Yeah.
So back in 2013, Harry Reid, leader of the Senate Majority Leader at the time, decided to get rid of the filibuster, to get rid of the filibuster for judicial nominees, but not law and not Supreme Court nominees.
Gotcha.
So what happened last year, after they obstructed Merrick Garland for the whole year, then Trump nominated Neil Gorsuch.
Yeah.
And the Republicans, because Harry Reid refused to get rid of the filibuster for the Supreme Court, because he's like, oh, we should still need 60 votes to get a Supreme Court picked by. We don't want it to swing so partisanly. And then Mitch McConnell was like, yeah, no, that's fine. Totally. We're just going to get rid of the filibuster for the Supreme Court, too.
Good old Mitch.
But we still have the filibuster for laws. So you still need 60 votes to pass a law. But to confirm a judge or a justice, you only need 51.
It's okay that I blame the Republicans for that.
Yeah. I mean, people will blame Harry Reid, but because he's the one that first got rid of the filibuster for judges. But the only reason he did it is because Republicans just literally obstructed everyone. In fact, there was a judge that she was totally qualified. She was like Harvard graduate and everything like that. And she was friends with Obama. And so he nominated her, but she was totally qualified. She'd been like a district judge for a while. And so he nominated her for a judge seat. And they obstructed on it so long, she ended up dying of cancer.
Wow.
Yeah, for years they obstructed.
Well, that'll show her.
Yeah. So like you can be like, okay, yeah, he got rid of it for judges, but it's like, man, they were really obstructing everything. And so there were like 300 judge seats sitting open across the federal judiciary. So he was like, I got to end this because we're not getting people appointed at all. You're just obstructing everybody.
Yeah. No, we won't have judges.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's the background of the Orrin Hatch, because he was complicit in all that. And now he's like, oh, we haven't treated your people that way. And it's like, oh my God, you were like one of the ringleaders of that obstruction for like 4 years. So.
So, Alex Jones.
Oh no.
I'm hearing a lot about Alex Jones. At first I heard it and I was very like, I was excited to hear that they got rid of him.
Yeah.
So I was watching Joe Rogan.
Oh,
I know.
no.
I know. That's why I was hesitating. And are we for sure that he did incite violence? And are we sure? I know about with the Sandy Hook kids, right? Like he was saying that they were actors.
Right.
Did he? And they were bringing up that they couldn't find an article that quoted him as saying it. He did for sure say the words that this is fake, or did he say I'm not sure if it's fake? I don't know if it matters, but like
no. So this is the way he played the game. He would do this thing where he would do like one show. He'd be like, "Oh, I mean, like none of it adds up. It's totally fake. Look, they're running in a circle. Like
they're running in a circle.
They're going in and they're going out and they're doing this and they're doing that. And it's like, well, okay. But then he would come back. He was like, I mean, I don't know that it's fake, but like, I mean, look at this. None of this makes sense. It's totally
I don't know
fake.
if it's fake. I just
it's totally fake. They're totally crisis actors. I mean, maybe not fake, but they're really crisis actors. They're trying to take your guns away. This is a false flag. And it was like, So he always does that thing where he puts that thing in there for just a second, where he's like, yeah, no, totally, because he thinks it gives him legal cover. He did the same thing recently with Mueller. So he like one of the last things he did like last week, you know Mueller.
Yeah, I know Mueller.
Yeah, you know Mueller.
Wait, Robert Mueller?
Robert Mueller.
Friend of the people, Robert Mueller.
Yeah.
Hero of the Republic, Robert Mueller.
Yes. So he did this thing where he did like a motion. He was like, hey, we need to take Robert Mueller. Wait, can I place this here?
Mm.
Oh, yes, I can.
You can do as many roofs as you want, apparently.
He says, we need to find Robert Mueller and see him in the town square and
Lock her up.
We're going to meet him in the town. Lock her up, yeah. We're going to meet him in the town square and we're going to take him out. And then he started doing like gun motions, like pistol motion with his hand. And we're going to meet at high noon. He's going to find out what a real man is like. And then he would just go, politically, of course.
Yeah.
I was like, what does this mean? You're doing a gun motion with your finger. What does it mean politically? I don't understand. What are you talking about?
Yeah, sketch.
So he does all that stuff, right? Where it's like, oh, like he tries to cover himself, but it's like, bro, like you're not doing a good job here. I want to move this because now it's sitting in the middle of the pathway, but it says not removable. What do I do?
This message is brought to you by Bone Marrow Shake.
Yes, that's where he makes all his money. Okay.
I think that's one of them. Like one of them's got like bone marrow, like it's bone.
Oh yeah.
Shavings or something. It's not even marrow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's very common. Yeah. Whoever recorded these logs evidently had some success. I have access to their plans. Perhaps I can learn from their efforts.
So you're
building
you're
product
fine with him getting deplatformed. You don't feel like it's a freedom of speech issue or
Well, okay. So there's a couple of components to this. Okay. Component one, which is YouTube, Facebook, Apple, whatever, all private companies. They can legally, like them taking someone off of their whatever. What is upload base?
platform.
Off their platform is totally legal. Right? Like that's not a violation of free speech because this freedom of speech that they're talking about is only by the government. Right?
Yeah.
Like the government can't say, or like in public places, the government can say, I need to move my ship now. The government can't take away your speech. Right? And so, but Apple, Google, YouTube, Facebook, whatever, none of them are the government. So they can totally, and this is the thing I keep pointing out, like, okay, we have been put, like, YouTube will ban you for, like, showing sex on their channel.
Yep, gross.
Like, Facebook, you can't even show a nipple on Instagram either. No nudity allowed. They will ban you and they will take down that video.
What's their policy on breastfeeding?
So Facebook used to even ban you if you showed a picture of breastfeeding. But they got a lot of pushback from that. And so I think they reversed it. And if you're breastfeeding, you can now show that.
Exciting.
There was a time where they were even taking down, people were putting up like education, like museums were putting up pictures of like art that had like nude
Like
drawings.
Michelangelo.
Yeah. And they were flagging that and taking it down. And it's just, it's so America to be like, I'm totally fine with you banning people because they show a nipple, but Nazis, bigots, no, this is a free speech issue, sir.
Yeah.
There's nothing that you can do. And it's like, it's so I'm just always like, spare me the crocodile tears, people, because it's like, you don't really, like, you're just upset that your dude got taken down, which is like, okay, you're entitled to be upset about it. But like, is it a free speech issue? Look at this. I have a domicile now. Is it a free speech issue? No, it's not a free speech issue. Right? And I feel like the right.
So you think this, but just to be clear, this is fundamentally different than the cake thing, the gay people cake thing.
Well, that was also I think those are different.
A lot of people, a lot of people like on Facebook, like from what I've seen, they're talking about like equating them. Like, well, how come it's okay to do this to Alex Jones, but that you have to like, I mean, it's YouTube's a private company, Google's a private company, so they can deplatform you if they want.
Right.
But how is it the case that a bakery can't refuse to sell a cake to a gay couple?
Well, so there's a couple of arguments with that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of problems with that. One is that actually courts have multiple times now found that bakers can refuse, including the Supreme Court. Like that was a case that just happened.
I thought that was the big. I thought it ended up that we won that.
No.
Oh.
No. So what happened was this guy in Colorado sued. So Colorado fined a Christian baker or whatever because he refused to bake a cake for a gay couple.
Yeah.
And they sued him. So like, hey, no, you can't do this because it violates our civil rights ordinance, right? So he contested it all the way up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court overruled that ruling that he could refuse service. However, to be clear, what they actually did was it was a very narrow ruling, and I don't mean narrow in like it was only a 5-4 vote, although it was a 5-4 vote, but it was narrow in its scope. So they didn't actually say like, so they didn't actually rule on the idea of whether or not a state could use civil rights ordinances to force you to make a cake. They didn't actually rule on that. They just said in this particular case, the state of Colorado is prejudiced against you. And so they didn't make an unfair, or they didn't make a balanced decision in this case.
I understand.
And they pushed it back down and said, hey, you have to relitigate because they showed discriminatory behavior towards you. Now, the way that they said that it was discriminatory was pretty sketch, which was basically like the judges in the Colorado court had basically said, oh, my thing is depleted. Basically, he's like, hey, Christianity, like religion, has been used to discriminate against people all throughout history, and including in American history. And it's like objectively true.
Yeah.
But the Supreme Court was like, well, I don't know. You can't say that. That shows bias against Christians. And it was like, oh, so that was sketch. But nonetheless, he won the case. He's allowed to refuse service to gay bakers. But that didn't actually set a precedent because they said they didn't actually rule on that particular thing. They just ruled on. But, however, there was another case in California where a California court ruled that no, you actually can't compel a baker to bake a wedding cake for a gay couple.
Gay wedding cake.
Yeah, a gay wedding cake. You can't force someone to make a wedding cake for a gay couple.
Gotcha.
And in that case, what he actually argued was actually not that it was a defense of religious freedom, because that's how they kind of present it, right? That like, oh, it's my, if I can be forced to serve gay people, then that's a violation of my religious principles, and therefore I have freedom of religion. You can't do that. But what we typically found with civil rights laws is, okay, but the government has a compelling interest because it causes material harm to people if you refuse to serve them. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's the whole black people couldn't even go to public schools.
Yeah.
Right? And couldn't go into restaurants and stuff. So the government has a compelling interest in saying, okay, you don't get an exemption. You don't get a religious exemption for service. That's the way civil rights laws have worked in the past. But this California court said, no, that actually doesn't apply. What we found here is not that. So the civil rights ordinance applies in the sense that you can't, like if a gay couple came in and wanted to buy something that was off the shelf, right? Like say you just had a cake sitting on the shelf.
Yeah.
And a gay couple came in and wanted to buy it. You can't say no. Right?
Yeah, but you can say no if they ask you to write something. Yeah.
Yeah, if they ask you to make a specific cake, you can say no to that because at that point it's not a matter of religious expression.
It's art.
It's art, and it's compelled expression.
It's bigoted art.
And we can't. Well, yeah. Nobody can compel you to create. To create art, essentially.
Yeah.
That you don't agree with. And so like the example is like, hey, if you're a Jewish baker, you can't refuse service to Christians.
Yeah.
But you can refuse to bake a cake with a swastika on it.
Yeah.
For a Nazi party. Right? So, but like if a Nazi came in and like, hey, I want to buy this whatever kosher hot dog.
Yeah.
which I don't know why a Jewish baker would have a hot dog, but but theoretically, you couldn't say no. I'm not going to sell it to you.
They're Hebrew Franks. I guess those are kosher.
Well, no, but I don't know why you'd have that at a baker.
Oh, right.
You see what I'm saying? So I don't know why I use that example. Like that would be more like a Jewish deli.
Yeah.
Right. A kosher deli. Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you can't refuse service there, but you can say like, no, I'm not going to make a cake with a swastika on it. That's offensive to me.
Fair enough.
Right.
If they had, I would feel differently about Alex Jones being deplatformed if they had done it because he was gay. I'd be on his side, but
right.
He was just.
But so I think that's making a moral argument instead of a legal argument.
God, there's a practical argument though. I mean, it's just nonsense coming out of his mouth, and
exactly.
A lot of people aren't.
Well, and
they don't have any experience like researching whether or not someone's full of nonsense. They just know a lot of people listen to this guy, and so they believe him.
Well, and so that's the thing.
At what point is that just too dangerous to let go on?
I need chromatic metal.
I mean, it is a free speech issue at that point. I mean, like if he hadn't, because the sobering thing for me is that even if he didn't incite violence, if he hadn't hurt those parents at Sandy Hook who had lost their kids, I'd still want him deplatformed, honestly.
Well, so that's the thing,
right?
Just
because how else do you stop this person? I mean, unless I would have been satisfied if YouTube had just put, hey, what this guy's saying is for comedic effect. It's not true. Like I would appreciate some contextualization more than like content control.
Well, so actually, that's the ironic part of it is so Alex Jones is actually being sued right now by parents of Sandy Hook who were like forced to move and can't visit their kid's grave because InfoWars fans go and harass them and say you're trying to take away our guns and all this crap, right? Mm-hmm. So they're suing them for defamation. Right. And that's the other thing about this. Even if you could make a legal argument, like let's say YouTube were public, which it isn't, like I'm not even sure what he's saying is legal. Because like he did another episode where he just was like, Mueller's a pedophile. He rapes kids.
Oh, my God.
And it's like, that's defamation, bro. Like that's not legal. Defamation is not legally protected free speech.
If any of the viewers haven't heard the psychic vampire extra-dimensional pedophile conspiracy from Alex Jones, you should go check it out. It's pretty wild.
And so I'm not even sure what he's saying is protected free speech. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's defamation.
That's true.
So I don't even know that that's a good argument. But even if you wanted to make that claim, people are like, hey, people are like, oh well, this is setting a slippery slope, and I'm like. It's not a slippery slope. We can draw lines places.
Yeah.
Right? Like we could draw a line and be like, hey, don't be like say that trans people deserve to be shot.
Yeah.
Like we're not setting a slippery slope there. Like, well, if you say that people can't say that black people should be executed, then how are you going to do when people say like you can't talk about Social Security? Mm-hmm. Like, no, we draw lines places all the time.
Now, I hate to ask this, but was the shooter from Sandy Hook? He didn't survive.
No, I don't think so.
I was just thinking because if he like went to trial, if there was like a trial and like he was talking that smack, Alex Jones, like what if they like called him as a witness? Like you seem to have information about the shooting. Can you show us why you think that it didn't happen?
Yeah,
because that would be, it's his own defense is that it was all made up. It was all a show.
Right. Jump cut.
Yeah.
So I don't even think that's a compelling argument to make there. But what I will say is, so you know what's interesting though, is I think there actually could be a broader discussion to be had about, for example, market. So YouTube owns like 95% of the self-generated video content market.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's really like Facebook has some, you can upload your own content to Facebook.
I'm surprised it beat porn, but okay.
Well, yeah. Non-pornographic.
Yes.
Right. Well, that's another thing, right? YouTube is banning porn. Oh my God, free speech.
Have they not always done that?
They have.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Which they should.
Well, okay, so then you could ban bigots.
Yeah,
If you could ban porn,
I thought
if
of
you
that.
could ban porn and you could ban nipples, you could ban bigots. This is not a slippery
I'm
slope,
just
people.
now, I know you were trying to explain it earlier, but I'm just now really, it's really hitting me. Yeah, because they've always banned porn. So
That's what I was
why
saying.
not ban?
That's what I was saying. It's peak America to be like,
Yeah.
no, I'm totally cool with banning sex because we have to protect the children, but you have to protect the speech rights of the Nazis.
Yeah.
You know, you have to respect the speech rights
I don't know if it's fair to
of
Nazis.
defamation of character.
I don't know if it's fair to Nazis to call Alex Jones a Nazi. He's his own.
Yeah, I don't
he's
know
his
Alex Jones is a
own
Nazi.
thing. I mean,
But Alex Jones isn't the only one making this argument.
I mean, Nazis said that there weren't any dead kids in these camps, and so did Alex Jones. They both have a habit of saying that there are no dead kids when there are totally dead kids.
Yeah. But I think I think that points to a broader issue of how, like, okay, these companies are actually already taking editorial control, right? So they're not just kind of like impartial, passive things. They're using editorial control to surface content to you in a particular way based on other things that you've watched. Now, they happen to do it by algorithms most of the time, but even Facebook actually has a human-generated, like, editorial aspect where they will put things in, like, have you ever noticed the thing on the top right of the screen, the feed, where it's like, trending stories or whatever. Like, that's human generated. So I'm like, you're taking an editorial role already in the content that you show. It is not a slippery slope to say we don't want Alex Jones on here. Any reasonable media organization that takes editorial control over something does that all the time. You see what I'm saying? Like, if MSNBC fired Alex Jones, if he had ever worked there, you'd be like, yeah, okay. Nobody would be claiming that was free speech. But YouTube it is. And this is my point. I think that actually does bring up an interesting discussion about market power because YouTube has no competition really. And if you wanted to protect, so theoretically what should happen is YouTube bans Alex Jones and he goes, well, okay, I'm going to wherever. I'm going to
another platform.
I'm going to BigotTube.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm going to be now. And BigotTube has 15% of the market.
Yeah.
And so probably his base is there. So he's fine, right?
He's going to xgfrevenge.com. That's where he's going to put his. That's where you're going to find Alex Jones.
But YouTube itself has like 90% of the market. So now that he's banned on YouTube and Facebook has the other 10%, there's really no other reasonable place for him to go. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think there's actually a compelling argument about, oh, look at their ships. There's more ships going by.
Yeah.
I think there's actually a compelling, I'm going to go.
Hunt them down.
No, you know what? I'm going to go to this.
Steal their stuff.
To this trading post.
Can you murder, steal?
I don't think so. I don't think they were real. I think that's just stuff like NPCs. So I think there's a compelling argument to be had about market power and YouTube's. Oh, what?
We can find out if they're NPCs. Let's go find them and see how hard they run for their life.
About market power and how. Wait, can I charge this? Wait, how do I get?
I wonder if it's because it's night. Is it solar powered?
No, it's not. Okay, well, I'm just going to start running over there then. I think there's a compelling argument to be had, a compelling debate to be had about market power that YouTube and Facebook have 100% essentially of this user-generated video market. If they decide inclusion to ban somebody, there's nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
But the answer I don't necessarily know is regulation to say like you can't ban bad people on YouTube and Facebook. Let's break up Google and Facebook.
Oh, I don't know.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel weird about that. I feel weird about breaking them up. Like,
why?
I don't know. It's a company, right? Like, I mean, what
Yes.
right? Do they not have a right to like be super big and dope?
No, we have antitrust laws.
Yeah, I don't understand antitrust laws.
I mean, we have antitrust laws. We break companies up to prevent monopolies all the time.
I know we did something with Microsoft.
We didn't break up Microsoft.
Yeah, but there was something about Word, right? Like Microsoft Office. Like we had a big old fit about that in the 90s.
No, it was Internet Explorer. They were blocking Netscape from putting
That's right.
Navigator on Windows.
Yeah.
And they were including Internet Explorer by default.
Yeah.
and they got hit hard. Like, hey, you can't use the fact that Windows has dominant market share to then prevent competitors in the browser space on your operating system. Oh, that hurt. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think the same thing is true because I think Google exploited their dominance in search to make YouTube a monopoly in video.
Mm-hmm.
Because it used to be anytime you just searched for something, the only video results that would pop up were YouTube. So that's why YouTube is dominant in video. So before we move on completely from this Alex Jones discussion, I will say I'm going to miss some aspects of Alex Jones that I do think are funny, and this video is one of them. And let me just preface this by saying, if Alex Jones ever releases a metal album, it's going to be fire.
You enemy! 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 You are my enemy!
He's talking about Brian Stelter, the guy
And
behind
I
him.
swear total resistance to you with everything I've got.
Ooh.
Disingenuous, fake, false, broke back, twisted, a defiler, a betrayer, a backstabber, a devil.
Oh my.
You will pay. Yeah, you think I don't see your face, scum? You don't think I don't see you, Stelter? I see you. You understand me? I know what you think of me and my family. I see you right back. You understand that? You understand that, Stelter?
Look at the zoom in. Hold on. Here's where it gets great.
Stelter. You will fall.
Whoa.
You will not bring humanity down. God is going to destroy you.
Oh my God. I am not prepared for his dirty talk game.
Get him off the screen.
The Alex Jones sex tape is going to rock our world.
Get him off the screen.
Just please, God, free us from them.
Please, God, free us from them. You know what's hilarious about that? And I kind of brought this up earlier, and I'm just going to point this out. Last thing on this. The hilarious part, and I mentioned this, he's getting sued by the Sandy Hook parents.
Yeah.
And they're suing him in defamation, right? And you know what his defense in that case is?
Yeah. What?
That his show is entirely satire and no reasonable person would believe it.
I remember that, yeah.
And it's if Alex Jones if InfoWars actually was like, yeah, no, we're totally satire, that'd be like, no, don't ban it from Facebook. This is amazing content.
This is my favorite show of all time.
Yes, but he's not joking.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's like Stephen like the Colbert Show,
yes,
but played straight.
Except real.
Yeah, for realsies, for keeps.
Well, also, even Colbert didn't go to these places.
No, of course. Yeah, but
so anyway, I'm gonna miss that about Alex.
Oh.
But even that, I say I'm gonna miss it. Like,
who knows? He might be on Fox News.
No,
he might get a Fox News show.
His website's totally still up. The best part of it was, and I wish I had the tweet. The best part of it was he literally, because he's still on Twitter. He's still on Twitter, and literally the day that he got banned, and then because his website's still up, so he still streams to his website. So it's actually not like he's been banned. Mm-hmm. He's on a different platform now. He's just not on YouTube or Facebook anymore. But on top of that, he's also still on Twitter, and he tweeted out, "Hey, we're talking about Alex Jones being banned from the internet," and he gave a link to his website on Twitter, and it was like, man, if only Twitter and Infowars.com were on the internet, we wouldn't have to see them because you've been banned from the internet. It's like, you have not been banned from the internet.
Yeah.
Look, I've been banned from the internet. I tweeted from my website. And it was like
the guy.
Come on.
It's like when I call you and I go, have you seen my phone? I've done that on many. Have you never done that?
I've never done that.
Oh, I've done it all the time.
I've seen somebody do that before. I think I've done it with keys before. Like I'm driving and I'm like, have you seen my keys? Okay, but super last thing on this actually. I do want to say too that there's actually probably, as I was saying about the market thing, I think there actually should be a discussion to be had about websites, because I don't know if you know this, the Daily Stormer, you know Daily Stormer?
I've heard of
the
it.
neo-Nazi website?
Yep.
Like it got their web host that owned dailystormer.com kicked them off, was like, no, we're not hosting your website anymore. So they had to go to the dark web. They're not on the World Wide Web anymore under dailystormer.com.
Oh.
So basically they were like, hey, dailystormer.com, you can't use that. And I was like,
they're off the internet.
yeah. Well, I think they came back on somewhere else or something like that, but it's not quite the same thing. And so I think that's a discussion to be had. Should we make sure that, like, hey, if you want to have a website, nobody can deny you a website, right? That the internet is so central to speech and discourse that we can't ban you from having a website.
Yeah.
I think that's a discussion to have. Ironically, that would be protected by net neutrality, which the Trump administration got rid of.
Yeah.
And you see Ted Cruz out there defending Alex Jones. This is censorship. I'm like, Ted Cruz, you fucking called net neutrality socialized internet.
Yeah.
I'm like, get off your high horse. This is the reason, like, these things exist.
I have had more than one person tell me that they think that Obama was the real tyrant because he was trying to socialize the internet. Yeah.
He was trying to socialize the internet so much. He told
it's-
private companies that they couldn't ban other private companies.
It's not just Ted Cruz. I've heard real grown-ups say it.
Well, Ted Cruz is a lawyer with his degree in constitutional law who interned for Supreme Court justices.
And that just means he understands law from the 1700s, right?
No, it just means he's disingenuous.
Yeah.
He's playing to his base. Dude, Sentry, get the F away from me. They're really annoying. This Sentry is like... See, they're following you around like crazy. I was reading something. They were talking about how it's like more aggressive now. Look at this guy.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Look at this fucking guy.
I like it. I want one.
Does he have a zit?
Oh, man, poor thing. A horrible
I want to
creature.
pop it.
Don't.
Can I pop
gross.
it?
Quick.
I'm
No.
going to feed it. I'm going to feed it. I'm going to feed it. I'm going to feed it. What's happening? He's happy. He's happy. Can I pet?
It's unsettling. Hey, look at the alpha over there with 2 humps.
What?
The alpha over there with 2 humps.
What?
2 humps.
Oh. Okay. I'm totally going to rename that guy, though. Discoveries.
Please don't make it gross.
No.
Jones. Pimply Jones.
Pimply Jones.
I like it.
Pimply Jones. Like, these are things where I'm like, oh, this is cool. I really like walking around seeing
Yeah,
the
that
animals.
was always there, though.
I got to be honest, though. This plant right here, it's got a different name. Exact same plant that was on the first planet that I was on. Like, a lot of stuff is getting reused. Oh, what is this?
Well, you'd have to.
Well, no, it's supposed to be procedurally
I know,
generated.
but for feasibility. So what do you think about the revamped?
Well, I never played the original No Man's Sky. Here's what I can say about this one. I feel like I said at the beginning, it's like Minecraft, and it reminds me a lot of Minecraft. And just like Minecraft, I feel like it's the same thing, which is where I will play it like nonstop for like 30 hours and then never touch it again.
Yeah, well, that's what I did on the first time I played.
Yeah.
I played it for like 18 hours, and then I was like, yeah, it's not going anywhere. So
Yeah, I do that all
and
the time.
It was. I feel like it was exclusively first person, and since we've been doing this in third person, and I like it a little better. I think the third person has a more narrative feel to it, which is necessary since there's not much of a narrative.
Well, I think you can still do first person, but I have no idea how. Actually,
or why
I'm gonna
you
look
would
at
do
the
it.
controls.
It's boring. Don't do it.
Don't tell me what to do.
Don't tell me what to do.
Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me where to go. How do I change
Not here.
weapon mode? Flight controls, vehicle controls. I swear that you can change first person mode. I know that you can do this. I've seen people do it. Where is it? I don't know. Not worth my time. I will say these menus, super arcane, and maybe it's a PC thing. They're so difficult to get through. You know how you go back most of the time?
Yeah.
It's the right click.
Huh.
I don't like that. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, see if I bring up my, okay, I gotta, so see, if I hit right click, it goes back. I gotta hit F to charge. I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel like maybe it would be better with a controller. But
Would you recommend this game to a friend?
if you're a fan of Minecraft, yes, I think I would recommend No Man's Sky next because you have the ability to build. Would I recommend it to you? Are you a fan of Minecraft?
I would recommend it to.
Are you a fan of Minecraft? I asked you a question.
No, I've never played it.
Okay.
It looks like something I might like.
I don't know that I would recommend this. Well, you're a fan of Skyrim.
I am a fan of Skyrim.
I feel like you get a lot of missions now that maybe you can do. Maybe you could.
I would recommend this game to a friend that I didn't like.
Ooh, that's not very nice. Well, why would you be friends with someone you didn't like?
I don't know. Desperation.
Do you not like me?
Well, let's wrap it up here. I love Paul. He's great.
Sure. It's because I wanted to deplatform Alex Jones.
He's my favorite extra liberal friend.
You hate the fact that I want to deplatform Alex Jones.
No, I'm glad he's gone. I'm glad he's gone.
I don't believe you. Okay. Anyway, that's No Man's Sky.
That's No Man's Sky.
And that was a discussion about Alex Jones. And I eagerly anticipate his new metal album. I got to be honest, I really want to get to this trading outpost, but it's going to take 2 hours, so I'm not doing that.
Thank you.
Okay. Roll. No, that's just a piece of machinery. Okay, we're going to go now.
Bye.
Bye.